Does anyone here remember their teenage years? Do you remember some of those mistakes you made during those years? Well, I do. Guys, I was probably one of the wildest teens out there. So today, I'm going to talk to you first about the struggles of teenage pregnancy. According to NBC News, research shows that people who have children in their teens and adolescents are less likely to get a high school diploma or go on to college. Education is very important in this world, and colleges as well, if you want to be successful and be able to provide for your child and give them the lives that they deserve. I was able to complete my GED at the age of 16, but guys, to this day, my sister, who's 25, has failed to complete a GED or a high school diploma, and I sat and watched her struggle with 3 children. Even after 3 children, she still refuses to grow up. She depends on others to take care of herself as well as her children. Even after 3 babies, she refuses to take care of her responsibilities, and this leaves all her children with a very tough life. I'm telling you this today because I believe by her being a teenage mother, she was robbed of her childhood and doesn't know how to grow up. This is just my opinion, but I can tell you this saddens me every day. And there are others out there just like her. Now I'm going to talk to you a struggle that is how to provide for your child as a teenage mother. According to American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, in most cases, children are taken care of by their grandparents, move in with them as infants or preschoolers, and remain for them for at least 5 years. One of my sister's 3 children is being raised by my mother. And this leaves him asking questions about her other 2 children and causes him to act out at school and at home as well. On top of all that, my mother's an addict. My nephew is exposed to things that no child should ever have to experience. I'm not going to go into details about this with you guys, but he is sadly another statistic to children born to children. Although this is unfortunate for my nephew as well as many other children, there are some that do make the choice to take care of their child and complete high school. But guys, even with just a high school diploma, these teen mothers are struggling to make ends meet working dead-end jobs at minimum wage. Now, I'm going to tell you about the options. According to thefamilies.com, the majority of girls and young women who gave birth while unmarried placed their babies for adoption. This is a picture of a young couple here who chose to give their baby for adoption. Okay. I happen to be one of those women. I made a decision to let a woman adopt my children who could not have children about 8 years ago. In Arkansas, there's only closed adoption, so I don't have contact with them until they turn 18 and make a decision to seek me out. I personally chose this for my child because I had both of them before the age of 21. It was a very difficult decision to make, but you have to remember it's not just about you, it's about the child. You have to put the child first and make the best decision for them no matter how it affects you. My children were placed in foster care when I was sentenced to prison. And when I returned, I could see how confused they were and how happy they were with the family. So, this is what ultimately caused me to make my decision. And I applaud any female, teenager or not, that will stand up and say, I cannot take care of this child and they deserve a better life, and they give them up for adoption. There's a lot of people that can't have children out there that can provide lives. There are many girls who have to make this difficult decision, but don't be quick to judge them. They make the best choice for the child, and I applaud them for that by putting their child first. Another option is abortion. This is an option that best fits some teen mothers. There are times when a teen is terrified and just wants it to go away because they're not ready to raise a child, or they're too scared to consider adoption. There are also times that a teen's body cannot safely carry the baby, and the only option is abortion. Whatever the choice you make, just make sure it's what you truly want. Prevention. Now let's move on to my last point, prevention. According to the National Campaign to Prevent Teen Pregnancy, having more open and honest conversations about sex with their parents would help delay sexual activity and avoid pregnancy. If you talk with your teens about sex and the consequences of having sex at such a young age, guys, they just might listen. Another option for teens is contraceptives. According to the Centers for Disease and Control Prevention, the best way to reduce the risk of unintended pregnancy among women who are sexually active is to use effective birth control and correctly and consistently. There are many forms of birth control out there, guys. If your teen does make the decision to have sex, then please listen and help protect themselves. Teenagers are going to make their own decisions, whether you approve of it or not. So have the sex talk and do whatever you have to do to keep them healthy and safe. Now let's conclude. In conclusion today, I've talked to you about teen pregnancy. I've talked to you about the struggles, the options, as well as the prevention. So now, what I want to leave you with is let's help our teens not to make the same mistakes that we may have made as teenagers.